Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we have a new season of Assault Rumble, and in today's video, we're going to be diving in with the teams that I'm going to initially be using for this particular game mode. Now, obviously, the game mode tweaks, we do learn a little bit more as time goes on, but at the end of the day, look, this game mode is very pay to win and heavy investment to get it done, but this particular season is a little bit different because obviously we don't have any of the boosters. I did not do any summons on the Nami, the Yamato and Otama banner. We don't have any of the trusty characters. So the scores you are seeing today, the scores that are on the screen right now, are with a 1x trusty bonus. And right now, we are sitting comfortably in rank 39. So look, I don't know if top 100 is going to be the pinnacle, because as I can see here, like number 42 has the Yamato and Otama in it, but like I do think that getting into the top, say, what, 1,000 and getting the 40 gems is probably very realistic for a very end game player. Top 2,500 for 35 gems seems very realistic as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see the end of the season and what we fall. The rules this season are a little bit strange. Luffy does take damage from Cerebrals 20%, Strikers 10%. Whitebeard takes damage from Int and Strikers 15% apiece. And then Saturn takes damage from Dex and Revolutionary Army at 15% apiece. All bosses take extra damage from Paramecia types at 10%. And extra damage from child units at a 40% up. So not a lot of child units can work that well on these particular fights. But obviously with the Yamato and Otama, they are a child unit. They're going to do quite well. So we have Whitebeard, we have Saturn, and we have the Luffy fight. It seems like they are rotating between fights. The Kainu fight is now gone. We have replaced it with the Saturn fight. Last time we lost the Blackbeard fight, and it got replaced with the Luffy fight. So, yeah, it does seem there is like a bit of rotation going on. And then obviously the rule set and the colors changed, which I think is perfect for Assault Rumble. They did not overthink it. They kept the same fights, and they just went, hey, let's just change the colors, change the boosted characters, and we'll go from there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. With that said, let's dive into some fights. Alright, so the first fight that we're taking on today is the Whitebeard fight. Now, Whitebeard is weak to Int characters and Striker characters. So the big two units, damage dealing wise, you have the new Roger Gaban, who can hit really, really hard, and then you have the new PvP rare recruit that is Lilith and the Vega Force. Other very good teams you can put together. You could easily just throw together an Int Striker team. You could use Saturn, you could use Smoker, you could use your Rogue. Obviously, Roger Gaban, you could throw him on the team. You could do stuff with S-Hawk. S-Hawk's going to hit ridiculously hard. But you also want Paramecia type units. So any character that is a Paramecia is going to hit 10% harder on top of that. So I think Smoker is probably the big one. He's a Paramecia, if I remember correctly. So he's going to hit very, very hard, on top of the fact that he is an Int Striker-based character. But like I said, the big one right here is the Vega Force unit. We have 6 Egghead characters on the team. And we have the 6 Strikers, obviously being a Striker-based build. And then, they're the characters that are basically just going to do most of the work for us. So, Nami hopefully gives us the haste here. Yes, beautiful, Vega Force. See, this is the perfect way to get this to happen. The idea is you want Nami. This is where RNG comes into the whole game mode of Assault Rumble. You want that special of Nami to haste characters like Vega Force. They give themselves more attack. So then you get the 30% reduction from Vivi Rebecca, who is a very odd choice for this particular team, but obviously lowering defense is great. Getting cooldown reduction for your high-end attackers is very strong as well. The Rock Spirits, obviously they hit like a goddamn truck because they are a Paramecia type as well as being Striker, so they get that little 10% buff on top of the 15% buff. And they also halve stats too. This Striker team is very reminiscent of the last Striker team that was used last season, that just basically dominated every single fight. However, instead of Bonnie and Saturn, we are using Roger Gaban, and we are using the new Rock Sparks unit. So, obviously being 2 of the new Super Sugos, they do work very, very well. Now, Nami, please give me the haste. That would be great. No haste. Ah, that sucks. That sucks. Unfortunately, if we got the haste, then we could get a special off, and then Vivi Rebecca would then get cooldown back to the highest attacking unit, which would hopefully be Roger Gaban. Unfortunately, they're not at 40%. Damn, like you really want Roger Gaban to get hit a lot, so that way they actually get into that realm of the extra 4 times attack, because that extra 4 times attack is crucial to getting some of these bigger numbers. But the Rock Pirates, they hit so damn hard as well. Like, that amount of damage, 35 and 37,000, is so much. Another thing you could probably do with this fight is you could probably just go like old reliable and just run the Dex team. The Dex team was actually just working like so ridiculously well against a lot of these fights. So if you guys are struggling there, like I said, the Dex team should work fine here. I do think with some better RNG, we could probably get a little bit of a higher score. But right now, that's sort of what we're looking at, 911. Like I said, I do think a way bigger score is in check. But for me, that is a new record, so we'll definitely take it. If you guys are struggling, like I said, int strikers will work great. There's plenty of int strike characters. Or the Dex team. The Dex team's really good for this fight too. Speaking of the Dex team, the next fight we have is the Saturn fight. Now, Saturn is weak to Revolutionary Army characters and Dex-based units. So, Revolutionary Army doesn't really have a lot of representation in the game. If you pull Dragon, like, he can work quite nicely. You can do some fun stuff with Free Spirit. Using the new Sabo Koala 6+, they hit fairly hard too, being an attack-based unit. The new Ginny can do something, but not too much. You have Morley Kurosawa, you have Inuyasuma, but again, all these characters don't really hit that hard, or Saturn just wipes them away. Saturn has a super special, that's something to note as well, so he can hit ridiculously hard at the back end of a fight, especially when he gets something like 20 cooldown in the last sort of 30 seconds too. So he's a bulky boy. And if we remember the Blackbeard fight that we had to deal with 2 seasons ago in season 1, that fight was so ridiculously annoying and so hard to get points because there's only one unit you're going up against. And when you're going up against one unit, it just means all your spread damage is going to be drastically less. Like, it's going to be significantly less. And the numbers you guys are going to see on the Saturn fight are going to be a lot lower than the numbers that you guys see on the other fights that have 3 enemies in front of you as well. So, don't be too discouraged with this particular fight. I've just sort of dove in with my Dex-based team, just because right now I don't exactly know what the best like team to take this on is. I don't really know what the best strat is to take it on. Unlike Blackbeard, Saturn is actually immune to Action Bind. Oh, see you later. It's just got absolutely spanked. Blackbeard wasn't immune to Action Bind. So what you could actually do against Blackbeard is you could take characters that just kept him in an action lock loop. And that way you could just sort of hit him really hard with some of the big Free Spirit side characters. For this particular fight, you can't do much except rollback specials or half stats or special bind. Now, you could probably do something with a special bind lock, but the fact that Saturn has a level 20 CD just means that if you try and use rollback strats, then that's like just really not going to work. There's not that many characters that can apply special bind at a significant rate to then still do enough damage. So for me, like I said, I've just sort of dove in with the standard Dex-based team. Saturn's super special is very, very, very powerful. It will basically kill one unit all the time. So having Uta in the front, Uta's stereotypically the one that will most likely die. Having her in the front works great, because then you have something like Dalton straight in the front line of the bench, and Dalton can come in and he can hit really, really hard. Plus, because Saturn is a quick-based character, Dalton does a lot of nerfing to him too. Saturn also lowers his own defense, so you can hit fairly hard with those types of characters. Dalton might be a really good shout actually just in the front over something like Pell. But again, I'm really struggling to figure out what the best comp is for this particular fight, as like Dex works, but like I feel like there's a way to make it better. So finally we have the Luffy fight. Now Luffy is Dex, he was Psi last season. Now he's Dex and he's weak to Cerebrals and he's weak to Strikers. So you can build out like a Cerebral team, you can build out a Striker team. Obviously, Strength is going to have the upper hand no matter what, but Bandai knows the power of the Strength team. They have seen what we've been doing with this particular team over the last 2 seasons, and they've just said, there is no way in hell we are making Luffy weak to Strength. If they make Luffy weak to Strength, the Strength team would just do absolute abysmal damage. Like, it's like, not abysmal, like obscene damage. And honestly, it still does, because Kuma is a Paramecia type, so he hits so freaking hard. You have so much cooldowns with Uta and with Kobe. Luffy's still hitting really hard. Akainu's hitting like a goddamn truck as well. The team just works like really, really well. Like Just like the amount of damage that comes from Kuma right there is absolutely wild. Kuma is the best PvP legend in the game. Like S-Hawk's still amazing, and I do think that he's up there. And I'm talking just PvP legends here, not like every single legend and then the PvP game mode. I'm talking bespoke PvP legend. Kuma's the best. Like, he's the 6+ of Kuma is just absolutely ballistic. It's wild what they went and did with that man. Like, it's just absolutely crazy scene. So as you can see, the strength team is just doing strength team things. Not too much has changed for this particular build. Obviously, if you want to try and get some more cerebral or strikers into the mix, you probably could with stuff like the new Rocks Pirates. They're going to work really, really well. The I'm not sure if it double stacks, but we might do some testing with the Vega Force character. If the Vega Force has the ability to double stack, then we might be in for some crazy, crazy stuff there. But like, look at Akainu, man. Akainu's hitting for 50k per unit. Like, that 100k is just such valuable damage. Like, when you compare that to what Luffy's doing, like, it's so much damage, man. So much damage. So, 30 seconds to go. Yeah, like I said, you guys kind of get the gist of what the strength team does here. Ideally, though, this is still pretty RNG based. Like, the strength team can die. It doesn't happen all the time, like, but the strength team definitely can die. Like, it's not unheard of to see this team actually go down in a fight. And then obviously that is going to drastically impact your life score and stuff like that. Also, it comes down to RNG in terms of where the enemy places themselves. If you get knocked back, all of that fun stuff too. Because if the enemy team is completely scattered, kind of like what you're seeing a little bit here, it does make it very hard to sort of hit everyone with like Kuma's spread damage, with the Luffy shot spread damage. So realistically, like, you want them all sort of very congregated and very together. So 1 million damage there, like, that's a lot. Like, that's a lot of damage. I don't think that's my best run, but as you can tell, like, getting that much damage consistently is going to work very, very nicely for your runs. But that's going to wrap up the video. That is my initial builds for Assault Rumble. If anything changes, I might do another video, or like if you guys want to see some more stuff on Assault Rumble, let me know in the comment section below, way down there. But like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy this day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.